Hi, kids. Now, you know what I'm going to ask you, don't you? So let's get started right now. What time is it? It's story time. Yes, it is. And we're going to have a great story time today. Hope you enjoyed the last story time. But today, what I want to read you is a book called Never Let Your Dinosaur Scribble. Yeah, I've discovered that of all of the different books that we read here on Storytime, the ones with the dinosaurs in them seem to be some of your favorites. This one is written by Diane Alber. Never Let a Dinosaur Scribble. Wow, now that seems like an interesting title. What have we got on the cover? We've got a little boy here on the cover that's looking all shocked, and a dinosaur with a crayon in his hand. Wow. It looked like scribble everywhere. I wonder if that's for real, or is that just his imagination? We'll find out. Never let a dinosaur scribble. Get comfortable. I recently got a pet dinosaur. Now, that is a little strange, but let's continue. Now, I know it's hard to believe, but it's true. And everyone keeps telling me, never let a dinosaur scribble. Now, think about that for a second. People are telling him, never let a dinosaur scribble. He's getting all of this advice from folks. Who knows where they got it from? Who knows if it's even real or not? But people are telling him, the first thing they're telling him when they found out he got a brand new dinosaurs, never let a dinosaur scribble. Okay? All right. Well, maybe it's good advice. Maybe it isn't. Why would anyone say such a thing? I mean, dinosaurs are so strong and powerful. So, why can't they scribble? He's wondering that very question. You know, big, strong dinosaur ought to be able to scribble if he wants to. Of course, we really don't want a dinosaur to scribble or anybody to scribble. Scribbling is not good. If you've been scribbling, stop right now. Okay. I thought if I gave him just one crayon, what could go wrong? So look, he's just handing him just one crayon. Okay. Figures nothing's gonna go wrong. Well, I'll tell you. He took off running towards a wall. Please, don't scribble on the walls. Only paper, I yelled. Look at that, he's in a hurry, headed towards the wall with a crayon. Oh no. Wow. Thank goodness my dinosaur has a short attention. You know what short attention means? That means you can't concentrate on anything very long. You might be thinking of something you should be thinking of, and before you know it, you're thinking of something else you shouldn't be thinking of, like, I don't know, video games or something, when you should be thinking about homework. That's just an example. I'm not saying that you guys do that. You guys would never do that. But this dinosaur had a short attention span, okay? Just before he was going to scribble on the wall, he noticed a couple of stones instead. Now, think about this. He's got this crayon. He's running towards the wall, and before he gets there, he sees some stones. So he stops. And he started to scribble on one. which was great. But there was just one problem. Let's see what that problem was. You can see he's got this little stone in his hand, and he's got a crayon, and he's scribbling on it, and the little kid's looking at it and seems fascinated by it, but he says there's a problem. What is that problem? We'll find out right now. We really couldn't see the scribble at all. No. No, I guess the scribble was too small on that little stone. I could tell he had another idea. See that little light bulb popping up there over his head? That generally means idea. Do you remember a book that we read a long time ago, and it had the word eureka in it? And I told you it was an ancient Greek word that meant, some of you might remember, it meant, I found it. Yeah, that's a word sometimes people get whenever suddenly they get an idea for a solution to a problem they've been searching for. So in this case, he's got that eureka moment. That light bulb comes on. He went to grab the paint. This wasn't going to turn out well. Look at that. He's got cans of paint, and they're all stacked, one on top of the other, and he's running into the house with it. I sure hope they don't fall over, especially onto the carpet and the floor. Wow. But surprisingly, he didn't make a big of a mess as I thought. He just quietly painted his little stones. And it turned out awesome. But then he got another idea. Wow. That he's painting his stones. They were really nice, but then he thought of something else. What do you suppose that is? He wanted to paint a dinosaur-sized stone. Look at that big rock. It didn't take long before he was rolling boulders into the room, one after another. Oh no, look at those big rocks he's rolling into the room. Oh. Oh, a big pile of them. It had become the biggest rock pile I've ever seen. And the way he painted the rocks was truly extraordinary. Wow. But you couldn't see my floor or my bed anymore. I had to find a place for his rock pile, and quick. Then I heard a noise down the hall. This was it. It was going to be so much trouble. I popped my head out of the door. My mom was standing right there. Before my mom could say anything, I started to explain the mess she was about to see. Well, it all started when I heard to never let a dinosaur scribble. But I had to find out why. So I gave my dinosaur a crayon, and then he ran towards the wall with it. Thank goodness he got distracted with some small stones and started scribbling on them instead, but He couldn't see the scribble at all, so he got some paint. He loved it so much that he got bigger stones, giant ones, even it made a big mess, and I'm sorry. Wow, he had a speech all ready for his mom. Wow. Sometimes you gotta do that when you know mom or dad's coming. Okay. My mom peeked around the corner and smiled. You didn't make a mess. You made some spectacular stone art. When I turned around, there was just a little pile of stones on my table. No huge boulder, no gigantic rock pile, but still some of the best art ever. All this time, people wanted to stop dinosaurs from scribbling. It could be because they try and draw on walls or make a gigantic rock pile, but if my dinosaur had never scribbled, he would have never learned how to make this amazing stone art. So, the next time you hear, never let a dinosaur scribble, just remember, all great art starts with a scribble. And even dinosaurs have to start somewhere. Did you like that? Fantastic. Did you find any morals in that, huh? I'm sure if you think about it, you probably could. Think about it and let me know in your feedback. For example, you could say, there's a couple of them. You could say that what you consider as art, people might not appreciate yet. They may think it's scribble, but eventually they will come to appreciate your talents. Yeah, I mean, that's one moral that you can look at. Here's another moral that you may find. You remember his friend said, never let a dinosaur scribble. He got that from somebody else. Somebody else told him that. You know, he didn't make that up for himself. But he took what somebody else told him about dinosaurs. Never let him scribble. And based on that, he prejudged his dinosaur. He made up his mind already that dinosaur was going to scribble based on what somebody else told him. He prejudged that dinosaur, and that's not a good thing to do, but he did it. Did you know to prejudge something means to make up your mind about them in advance before you even know anything about it? And prejudge is also the root word of the word prejudice. We're going to talk a little bit more about that next time. You be here. Until then, you're strong, you're smart, you're loved. Bye-bye.